Hi there, here is yet another video on binomial times binomial. It's probably the biggest one that you need to practice over and over and over again so that you have it to be permanent and it sticks in your head and you can teach someone else. Because someday, maybe one of your children is going to have problems with it and you're going to go, I remember watching those videos. Maybe you can even say they were really cool. You might say they were slightly odd, but it's stuck in your head and you'll be able to help your children. Okay, so we're going to FOIL. We are going to distribute twice. So there's my f, 2x times 2x. Oh, my hand's in the way. This is 4x squared. 2x times minus 6 is minus 12x. 3 times 2, so this is my f, this is my o, this is my I. 3 times 2 is plus 6x, and 3 times minus 6 is minus 18. All right, so 4x squared minus 6x minus 18. So it did say watch your signs because I think the last one that you did had all positives in it. So that doesn't always happen. There's all kinds of mixtures. Well, I guess there's kind of like 4 different mixtures. So pay attention when you start to see negatives. Let's do this one. Oh, that's weird. It's written backwards. Doesn't matter, you still FOIL. Just recognize that the order may seem a bit odd. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times plus 2p is plus 6p. We do these two plus 9p plus 6p squared. All right, that's cool. We still have our middle two terms we can put together. Now, I want to write this in descending order. Well, I just don't want to have to write it out twice. So I'm going to start with my 6p squared. Plus 6 plus 9 is 15p plus 9. Remember, that's a plus out there. So we can bring that down there. Cool, 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 cool. All right, let's continue on. R times R is R squared. First, outsides, R times 3 plus 3R. Ooh, pay attention, there's a negative there. Negative R. You can put the 1 if you want. It's up to you. I usually don't because my writing looks terrible enough to begin with. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. So we've got R squared. 3R minus 1R is plus 2R and minus 3. Yeah, circle that one up there. Cool. All right, ooh, look, that's nice. It's got numbers out in front, which is kind of nasty, but they're both positive, so I don't have to be quite so careful with my numbers, with my signs. 2n times 2n is 4n squared. 2n times 1 is 2n. 3 times 2n is plus 6n. 3 times 1 is plus 3. 4n squared. 2 plus 6 is 8n plus 3. All right, I'm going to do my little daily round. If you know what you're doing, now would be a great time to turn off the video. I keep saying camera, turn off the video. Try it on your own. Give it a shot. You're not going to learn a lot just watching me. All right, there we go. Let's look at this one. K times k is k squared. I almost wrote 2k, that's wrong. K times minus 3 is minus 3k. And then we do our insides. So first, outside, inside, minus 3k. And a negative 3 times a negative 3 is plus 9. K squared minus 6k plus 9. Boom. There we go. All right. Ooh, I write the same. See, watch that. These are both negatives. This one's a negative and a positive. Let's see what happens here. The cool thing is, whatever the signs are, maybe I should just calm down because you're still FOILing. K times k is k squared. K times minus 3, minus 3k. plus 3 times k is plus 3k. 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. Now, this is where it gets cool. Look, 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 look. Boom. Those middle terms, negative 3 and plus 3, they disappear. Don't put 0k in there. I guess it'd be all right, but no one ever does. Minus 9. This is one of the cool questions where you go a binomial times a binomial and you actually get a binomial. Binomial, 2 terms at the end. Normally, if you look at all the other questions, you're almost always getting 3 terms, a trinomial. But this one, which is very specific, where you have something, it's basically the exact same. It looks so messy there. K plus 3, k minus 3. So it's the exact same thing in the brackets, except one's a plus, one's a minus. That middle term is going to it'll disappear. So if I wrote 2n plus 6, the other one would be, I'm listening. I'm waiting for you to answer. All right, I know, 2n minus 6. So it's exactly the same thing. One's a plus, one's minus. 5x minus 2. And it doesn't matter whether the negative's in the front or the back. The other half, the matching, not sure what would be called matching, maybe complementary factor. Not sure there's a math word for that. Would be 5x plus 2. And there we go. These ones, I'm not going to do them, but if we did them, the middle terms would all disappear. Now, the stuff at the bottom is hugely important. Because the mistake that I tend to make, and a lot of students tend to make, is sign errors. So, things to remember. If the signs in the brackets are the same, the last sign will always be positive, and the first sign will be, I'm going to write same as biggest number, which really isn't much of a challenge. I could have said smallest number, and it still would have been okay. So what does that mean? Well, let's look up here. So these 2 signs were both positives. So my final answer, the last sign, see, this is the last sign. You can say second sign, but I tend to say last sign. And the first number will be the same as the biggest one. So out of plus 3 and plus 1, the plus 3 is bigger, same sign. As you can see, if they're the same, it really doesn't matter. Okay, here's another one. These were both negatives. Even so, my second sign, my last sign, was a positive. And okay, they're both minus 3, but whatever that sign is, comes down. Now, if the signs in the brackets are different, the last sign is always going to be a negative, and the first sign will be, and this is where this is cool, wow, it'd be really good if you could actually see that. Same as the biggest number. This is going to be correct 95% of the time. This part, by the way, is always correct. Well, this one will probably be okay too. This one is going to work 95% of the time. If you have numbers out in front of things, so whiz back down here. So let me try it again. So it's a negative and a positive. I know this one will be a negative for sure. And in this case, the negative 6 was bigger. So this one tends to be a negative. I'm going to see if I can find something where there's an exception to the rule. And there isn't one on here. Just be careful on that. But you know definitely this part is right. Always, 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 always. So if the signs are the same, you end up with a positive. If the signs are different, you end up with a negative, because you're multiplying two numbers, right? 90, it's going to work. My brain is generating all these exceptions to the rule. But you know what? If you remember this, it's gonna fit the pattern 95 to 99% of the time, and you're just gonna say, that one looks weird. I should double check my signs on the last few little bits. All right, that's enough math for now. You have a marvelous day, everyone.